Welcome to Quick Shots, a short format traditional archery podcast, where we introduce you to some of the world's most influential traditional archers, and occasionally, some random dudes. I'd like to send a big shout out to our sponsor, Archery Pass. For all your trad archery products, Archery Pass, making archery's past part of your future. ArcheryPass.com. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Quick Shots. I'm your host, Mick Chambers. I'm here with Maggie Brensinger. How are you, Maggie?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm really good. Thanks for joining us tonight. This is really awesome. You know, you are just coming off of an amazing second place finish. I'm going to say second place finish at Lancaster Classic 2022, man. What an amazing shooter you are for barebow.
Thank you.
Welcome. How long have you been doing this for?
It'll be 4 years in May.
4 years.
Barebow.
And 4 years in May, and you're putting up some amazing scores. Is this your favorite hobby? Is this what you do for, like, is this everything you do? Is this you? Like, do you do anything other than archery? Because it sure looks like and feels like, you know, that you must be doing this 24/7.
Actually, it's my only real hobby. I mean, I like to read other than shooting, but archery is pretty much just my main gig.
That's pretty good, though. If you're great at it, did you always know that you were going to be this good?
Oh God, no.
Really? Tell us that story. Tell us what it's like when you first started, and then to now.
So I originally started with my school's National Archery in the Schools program, and I had done that for a few years, and it got to the point where I wanted to shoot year-round because NASP season was, I think, 3 months out of the year, and I loved it so much, and I wanted to keep shooting all year round, and the stars aligned, and I found Frank's place, and he's the one that
from the Barebow Project. Yep, Frank Madonna. Keep going.
And he's the one that started me with barebow. He encouraged me to try it out, so I did, and I fell in love with it, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
No, I guess not. Your level of success has been incredible in the last 4 years. When did you start realizing, like, hey, I really like this and I'm actually really good at it?
I shot my first national tournament with my barebow probably 3 months after I had started, just kind of like on a whim.
Yeah.
S3DA outdoor target and 3D actually. And I think it was when I qualified first and stayed in first in that outdoor target, and I think it was after I had realized I placed first, and that was when I kind of realized, hey, maybe this could go somewhere. And I also qualified 3D for third for 3D at that same time. So
you do indoor, outdoor, and 3D? Do you do field archery? Sorry.
I shoot it all.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So you must be in Pennsylvania near Frank then. Are you close to the club?
It's about 20 minutes from my house.
Oh, yeah, that's good. That's good. And so Frank's been a great coach of yours. You did everything correct, right? You have some talent. You found an amazing coach. And then do you listen to everything he says, or do you kind of go, Frank, you know what? I'm so good anymore. I don't need, like, that's cute. Thanks, Frank. But you know, I'm a rock star. I'm a legend now. So I don't have to listen to anything you say.
Oh boy. I honestly, I listen to everything he says because I'd be clueless without his coaching. And between him and my parents, they all kind of guide me on this crazy roller coaster journey of archery.
And
So,
your parents are super supportive, huh?
oh, absolutely.
Oh, that's
I
good.
I could not be more thankful, honestly.
Did I already ask you how old you are? How old did you say you were?
I'm 16.
16 years old and just shooting amazing scores. How tell us about the classic. Let's talk about the classic because that's what's fresh right now. Um, so so you're going into the qualifications. You guys shoot 60 arrows. You come out second place in that. Walk me through the rest of the tournament.
So after qualification day, um, I was like, wow, I honestly didn't think I would shoot as good as I did. Um, and then the morning of eliminations, it was the next day, was when it kind of hit me that, like, hey, I'm in second place right now. And so all through eliminations, I was trying not to psych myself out. I was trying not to freak out because it wasn't over yet.
Right.
So I just kind of did my thing and tried to follow, and yeah.
You just went. I know it's these are tough questions. They're a little bit tough because I do want to dig into the competitive side of you a little bit here and talk a little bit about. There's this, um, you know, elation that you're second place. How do you keep it together? And then you go into these elimination rounds, and you didn't do as quite as well as I gotta be honest with you. I was on the Maggie team. So I was like following your scores. I'm like, come on, man. And then, then you tied because that's what I'm trying to get out of you. Like, I'm going to just tell your story because I watched the whole thing. Then you tied and then the camera shut off and I'm like, what happened? What happened? What's going on? Wait, is there another shoot? Because I don't know the rules, right? I don't know what they do at that tournament. So I was like, are they having another shoot off or are they going to shoot closest to the center or something like that? And I got hold of your mom. Tell us what happened.
So it was the eighth round of eliminations, and I'd won my first match against Brenda Wong, who is an absolute sweetheart. I love Brenda Wong. And my eighth match was Jill Butler. And we had tied for score. We both had 98 points, and we both thought that we were just going to automatically go to a shoot off. We didn't know that it went by 11s, and she had one more 11 than I did, which kudos to her.
Yeah.
Because she did amazing, and she did amazing on the Final Four stage too, and the whole weekend. And I took it with a grain of salt because, of course,
Yeah.
I mean,
Are you?
anyone.
I know, and you're such a great, and I think that's all barebow. Like you guys, all you competitors that are really competitive like that are just so good to each other. And you're like, yeah, kudos to her. She did really good. If it was compound, you'd be like, I should have won that. We shouldn't have done 11. There'd be anything but your fault, right? So, but that is really good. I mean, you did score really, really well, and I think we're all amazingly proud of you about the way you shot, almost a 9, right? I think what was your average? What was your, I think it was almost a 9 or something like that. Let me see. It's, 8.62 average over 60 arrows in a row, Maggie. That's fantastic. Like, that is so fantastic. For people who don't know, it's the 8 circles like this, from 18 meters. And that means that she had to have put at least one of her arrows in the 9 every single time, almost. So that, kudos to you. It's just fantastic work. I don't know who can keep that concentration. I talked to Lee last night, You know, you know, I was saying the same thing I'm going to say to you. It's like that level of concentration that you have is just unparalleled in that sport. 60 arrows in a row to shoot that well. You know, just congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Do you feel different? Like, do you feel happy? Do you feel excited about, you know, now it's over, or is it relief or what? Tell us what you feel now after going through all that.
Honestly, I'm really sad it's over because it's my favorite tournament of all time.
It is
Uh,
cool.
I I am very happy with how I did, which I don't say that a whole lot. Uh, it's kind of a rare occurrence where I'm actually like genuinely happy with how I've done. But
The only one that shot better than you is Fawn Gerard, like legend, the legend Fawn Gerard. You know, is the only one that shot better than you. And you know, you had to beat out like uh, Christina Lyons, Christina Procoli, Samantha. I don't know if I know her. And the lady who won, the young lady who won, Erin, she ended up winning the whole thing. But her score was, you beat her score. You know, in the 60 arrow countdown. So again, so well done. If they ended the tournament just on that, you would have been second place. You would have been, you know, in it's kind of almost like, you know, all of North America, all the really great barebow shooters come to Lancaster, don't you think?
oh, absolutely. It was actually kind of sad because there's a lot of worldwide amazing shooters that unfortunately didn't get to come, and like Lena Bjorklund and Eric Johnson and all of the really the great greats from across the world other than just the ones in the US.
Yeah. It's been rough, right? You know, COVID's been hitting us all hard, and it's tough to get here and that sort of thing. So there's another shoot this weekend coming up, Vegas. Do you shoot that one as well or no?
I am not shooting Vegas.
Okay, all right, all right. You can't wait, you're not just telling your parents, hey, I'm off to Vegas, I'll see you later. And take your bow and off you go. They're not gonna let you do that.
I wish, but I cannot drive yet. So
Really? You're 16 though, but you just don't have your driver's license yet?
not yet.
All right. They trust you with like a bow, but not a car, probably.
Oh, they're letting me drive. I just have not made the jump to go get my permit yet.
Oh, so your mom and so you get driven back and forth to the range every day. How often do you go? How often do you go?
Uh 2 days a week, but before tournaments I try to make it 3 or 4 days a week.
Do you practice at home?
No, I during the winter it's just the range that I have to go practice, but in the summer I put a bale outside and do drills and stuff outside since it's warmer.
Right, right, right. So you saying seriously that you 2 to 4 times a week is what you that's all the practice I'm not saying all. Like how long do you spend at the range when you're there? 2 to 4.
I like to think they're quality practices. I like to spend hour and a half to 2 hours most days. Um, I told Frank that after this weekend I would start going 3 days consistently every week on top of tournaments on the weekends.
Yeah. Are you
So
shooting a lot of tournaments on the weekends?
really it's just for indoor season, it's just the ones that I can find.
Right,
Um
right.
I I think this past month, January, I shot a tournament every single weekend except for one. Just because I need the practice for tournaments. And
Do you think that that is was helpful? You think that that helped you at Lancaster this year, shooting those other tournaments?
A bit, yes. Just it's kind of a little bit of the same feel of tournament pressure, I guess, if you will.
Yeah, it's.
But
I think Matt Zernzak calls it. What does he call it? Calluses. It's like tournament calluses. I don't know why he
oh
says.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So that's Matt Z says that, but I can see that, right, and I can see that, the way you shot and the way you handled yourself. There was a video cameras like who was walking around? Who was walking around? Was it Elton with the camera walking around while you're doing qualifications? Man, that's stressful. Yes,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, the more I get used to that sort of thing, the easier it becomes. I know while he was walking around and like walking down to the targets and back, every time I would see him, I'd go up to them and go, "Hi, Elton," while he's like recording everyone, just because it kind of takes the edge off.
Yeah, yeah. I like Fawn. Fawn kind of just stops and just chats with them for like 10 minutes or whatever. They're like, go get your arrows.
Yeah.
You guys are a lot of fun. The girls are a lot of fun. I think you guys raise each other up, right? Is there? But tell me the truth. Who do you really hate? Like, who's the one that you hate? No,
Oh my gosh.
I'm just kidding.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
just kidding. I'm just joking. But they're all good people, right? You get along with everyone.
Oh, absolutely. I get along with everybody.
Who?
There's
Go ahead. Keep going.
there's like not a single bad barebow person out there, in my opinion.
Really, really? Like, what about Demmer? He doesn't seem like a nice guy.
He's okay.
Is he all
He's
right?
all
Like,
right.
is he nice to people? Because he kind of comes across kind of arrogant, don't you think? It's like I've
Yeah,
won everything. I've
he's
won everything.
okay.
I don't need to be.
It depends on the day. He's all right.
We're obviously joking. We're obviously joking. I don't want to get like inbox email from Demmer saying I'm actually a nice guy. That's funny. So, yeah, amazing shooting. Hey, tell us about your equipment. How about that? How about you do a rundown of your equipment? I'd love to hear what you're like. What kind of bow you shooting? String, whatever you want to tell me. What do you got? What's your setup?
So I shoot a 25-inch Hoyt Arcos with medium Uka limbs, and I shoot Yost weights, a biter plunger, and a Spig ZT rest.
Yeah,
And my string is the string they sell at Lancaster because I do not know the name of it.
that's
Uh,
that's fine. That's fine. Triple T strings, man. Tell him to get you a string because you're a champion. You're a superstar now. He needs to send you out a string. Trevor does. That's good. And what arrows you got?
I shoot Victory Vaps with XS wings, and I think they're top hat tips.
That's all right. Hey, what weight are you got on your fingers? Like how much weight are you holding? Do you know?
Somewhere between 33 and 34 pounds.
Really good. And is that comfortable for you? Can you do that in outdoor too?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yes.
really? Okay, good, good. And are you point on the target, or do you have to crawl?
For
For
indoor or
indoor,
outdoor?
indoor, yeah, indoor for this weekend for like that for that Lancaster Classic.
So I crawl and I lollipop the gold.
Okay,
That's just my personal preference. I know lots of people are point on in the gold. That's just what's easier for them. I guess lollipopping is just easier for me.
right. Both eyes open.
Yes.
Really cool. That's hard to do. It's so hard to do. Okay, tell me the secret. What's the secret? Have you ever had, I don't even know if I should mention this. Have you ever had target panic?
Yes and no. Usually the extent of my target panic is getting stuck below where I lollipop.
Yeah.
That's about it. But I usually just do drills and drills and drills and drills until it goes away.
That's great advice. That is great advice. Give me one of those drills. Give me one of those drills that you do. I'm the same way, and I have not been able to cure it. So I can hit that. I can hit that what is it, the 12 at Lancaster
Oh yeah.
all day long. All day long. That would be an easy shot for me because that's where all my arrows go. Tell me how you tell me how you cure that.
So, excuse me. Usually what I do to kind of help me stop getting stuck is draw holds where um I go to full draw, I make my shot exactly the same as it would be if I was actually shooting the shot, and I get the tip of my arrow exactly to where I need to be, lollipopping the gold, and I hold it there for 3 to 5 seconds, and I let down. And I do that for a couple arrows, and I don't shoot any arrows until I feel like I am comfortable to continue shooting. Or sometimes I will start and end with a draw hold and then shoot 3 arrows normally. Just kind of, it just helps take that kind of stuckiness away from the shot.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, we got to get rid of the stuckiness. And so you didn't experience any of that at Lancaster. You just were like lollipopping, executing your shot. You just felt good. Did any of the pressure get to you?
Yeah.
It did.
Uh, Not during qualifications, but during eliminations when I was shooting against Jill, with Jill rather.
Yeah,
Um,
I like that.
it just had kind of occurred to me that all I needed was to win this match and I was guaranteed a spot in the final four. And I thought about it and thought about it and thought about it, and it psyched me out. And most of my shots were okay. There was a few that I kind of let that pressure get to me, and I would make the big mistake of looking at her target after she was done shooting, and it would just, my brain would go, I need to shoot that. I need to shoot that to win. And I just psyched myself out, honestly.
You shot against Jill. You shot at 24. Your ends were 24, 26, 24, 24. So, by all accounts, you're super consistent. You're super consistent, in shooting. Um, and she was kind of up and down, but she shot a couple of good ends that kind of beat you, and that was it. But she shot good ends. She shot two good ends. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, again, I don't. It's just it's mind blowing how great you are. And being
Oh.
16, so you have so many years left to. Now I don't know what that's gonna. Are you planning on, like, you might go away to school or something like that, but you should still do archery, man. It would be terrible if you stop. So keep plugging away. You can't. You're so good, right? You're so good. So it's a pleasure talking to you and meeting you. Actually, it's kind of neat that you're so good at such a young age. Honestly. So I don't know. Maybe Frank is doing something right. Maybe he's got some secret sauce there. I don't know. But you probably came in pretty naturally talented. Were there any other sports that you were involved in before archery, or no?
Does chess club count?
It certainly
uh,
does. It's.
Not really, no.
I was in the chess club, so I mean, it didn't help me. Didn't help me like it helped you, but that's pretty good. So, what do you? What would be it like? What's the main piece of advice you give someone that's trying to get to your level?
Have patience. Please have patience, and please follow the process. Follow your follow your process,
Mhm.
and just try to make every single shot exactly the same, and nothing happens instantaneously.
Yeah. What is your shot? That's great advice, by the way. What's your shot process? Can you break it down for us?
Okay, so um
You don't have to give away any secrets. If it's a secret and you want to keep it for yourself, you don't have to give it away.
oh no, Frank had us write down all the steps in our shop process and it was like 24 steps for me. So
Okay, that's way too many. That's way too
you'd
many.
be surprised.
That's way too
Uh,
many. Yeah. Just start. Just start. Let's see. Let's go through it. Let's see what we can do. What do you got?
so in a
Tie your,
nutshell,
tie your shoes. Put your shoes on. Tie your shoes. Take them off because you forgot to put your socks on. Then put them back on. No. What's 24? Go ahead. Get through these. Sorry, I'll shut up.
so in a nutshell, I set my stance, I knock my arrow, I look at the target almost every single time, like after setting my stance, and I knock my arrow and I set my grip. I make it pretty tight on my grip and then I relax it and then I crawl and then I start my pre-draw
Hmm.
and that's how I get into alignment. And then I raise to draw, and usually I make sure my arrow tip is above the target before I fully draw, and then I bring it back into my anchor. And I don't start aiming right away. I used to start aiming right away, and my shots were very quick, but as of right now, I take like a split second before I start to aim, and then I bring it up until I lollipop, and when it feels right, I let it go.
Interesting. That's interesting. So there's a few things in that are kind of really like don't aim right away. And the other one I didn't really understand, maybe you could just kind of expand on, is that you do aim and the tip's above the target. Like I didn't understand that part of it. Maggie, can you explain that? Like,
So I guess the best way I could explain it is it's just as kind of like a basis after I get into alignment to see where my tip is before I get all the way back.
mhm,
And if it's not, usually my tip is kind of it's either in the middle of the top of the target
yeah,
or it's to the left of the top of the target.
yeah,
And
yeah, that would make sense. Okay. Yeah, okay, I get it. And then you come to anchor, right?
yes,
And it just kind of settles in.
yeah, it settles as I bring it down.
Yeah.
So I at this point I'm usually around like the black or the blue on the bottom of the target. And
Oh,
and I float up and down and not left to right, which is really strange, I know. But
that's interesting. That's interesting because you're already setting yourself up for a good score if you're already in the blue, and then just moving it up that just a little bit because then you got to get into the red, and then you leave the tip in the red. You're lollipopping the gold. That's pretty cool. So you're already coming to really close to where you need to be to score well anyway. So that's awesome. That's awesome. Um, so if you what's going to be your next event? Maybe I should ask that first. What's going to be your next event that you we can see you and watch you?
I'm shooting indoor nationals in later this month. Um After indoor nationals, I think my next big event would be field nationals in May, which is actually right after my birthday, funnily enough.
17. That's exciting. Um, maybe you have a maybe you can go for your license then. Get out there. So field's a crazy game though. Field's a tough game. I mean, because there's so many, you got to do different distances, right? Is that right?
Hmm.
Do you have a hard time with that, or do you like that?
Actually, I have a relatively easy time getting crawls for field. It usually takes me probably like only a half hour to find my field crawls,
Oh,
which is I I know. uh, but I guess my instincts are really good when it kind of comes to knowing where to start when it comes to certain distances. After that, I just go to the crawl and shoot for the distance I'm crawling for, and it just kind of happens.
that's awesome. I just love the nonchalant way you are about archery. It's just like, yeah, takes me a half hour to get my crawls, and and then I just lollipop it, and when I'm having trouble, I just work harder. It's so good. It's so good. Yeah, you're the type of person we want to be a champion in barebow. So really do appreciate it. Hey, if people want to get a hold of you and follow you and see all your cool pictures, um, how would they do that? How would they get hold of you? Instagram?
um, I have Instagram and Facebook. Uh, my Facebook is just Maggie Brensinger, and my Instagram is it's a complicated name.
It is.
It's lowercase x
Yeah.
dot.
It's okay. We're gonna put it above your head anyway. It's gonna be right here.
Okay.
It's gonna be right above your head. Instagram. We're gonna send everyone to Instagram. If you want to follow Maggie, go to Instagram. She'll post pictures there. You can like those ones, and you can follow along on her career. I follow her mom too. I'm just gonna say it because your mom is such a great supporter of the sport. She just is. She's fantastic, fantastic person. And kudos to her for being such a big supporter of yours and helping you to, empowering you to be this good. I think parents don't get enough credit. I'm a parent. I don't get enough credit. All right. So thanks again. Thanks for being on the show. We really appreciate it. This might be the first of many, I think, as you start to move through your career. So that's my prognostication. So anyone that was listening, thanks very much. Don't forget to check out our sponsor, archerypass.com. They do all traditional gear. Riley over there is an amazing dude. And we'll talk to you later on the next one. See you then.